You know, there's not a lot of movies that after I'm done watching, I say, I need to get this on Blu-ray. That's very rare. Very rare. Like, for me, if I get a Blu-ray of a film, that means the movie went to me above average, above and beyond to me. Like, I don't get Blu-rays. I'm not that kind of dude to just go out there and get Blu-rays for every single film. I need to get a Blu-ray of this movie pronto. Second thing I want to say before we get into the video. I don't put too many movies up there with this film as far as movies that I watch every October. Like, every October I watch this. I watch Halloween 2. I usually watch Halloween 3 as well. But this and Halloween 2 are the double feature night. Like, you pop this in, you go to this masterpiece, and to me, to this day, it's one of the most perfect horror films out there. Then you go through one of the most perfect sequels out there, Halloween 2. To me, this and Halloween 2 is the perfect double feature for a Halloween night. Just, to me, the perfect one. I don't put too many movies up there with this film that you can watch, like I could watch every October. This movie is now on that list because I fell in love with this movie. This was such a great film. Now, of course, this is a requested review by my good friend Christopher Fawcett. Been a long time supporter of the channel. I want to say thank you so much to him for all the support over the years. It's been awesome knowing him, and it's been awesome having all the support from him. But I'll be leaving a link to his channel in the description below. Definitely check out his channel. He makes great stuff. So yeah, Christopher Fawcett, thank you so much for the request. And I really do mean thank you because this movie, like I said, this movie was so good. I didn't think it was going to be, like, I expected it to be good because it has a lot of great, like a big fan base, a big following. And when I heard about all this positivity, I was like, you know what, I like this movie, I'll get into it. I didn't think I'd get into it this much, though. This was a really, really impressive film. Definitely one of the best horror films I've seen in a long time. Like, in a long time. This is a quality horror film, especially for this time of the year. Now, I do believe there's a Blu-ray out there. I believe so. I believe there's a Blu-ray out there. If there's not, there needs to be, but I think there is a Blu-ray out there of this movie. Get the Blu-ray, watch it on Blu-ray. It is an amazing horror film. Of course, today's I'm talking about is Trick or Treat. This is a 2007 film, gets a 6.8 on IMDb, and it was directed by Michael Dougherty. Now, this director, I'm actually a pretty big fan of because he made Krampus, which I also really enjoy. That's a great Christmas horror film. I love Krampus. Apparently, he's announced that he's making Trick or Treat 2, which is awesome because he's come back to direct it. That is cool. So I can't wait for that. He also directed Godzilla King of the Monsters, which got a lot of great reviews. So he's a great director. I thought with this movie, he really proved himself. I mean, as far as just direction goes and the acting goes, I mean, he really nailed every aspect of the directing part. You know, he did an amazing job directing this movie. And this is an anthology horror film. I don't want to spoil too much of it because if you have not seen this movie, go out and watch it, please. I cannot beg you enough to go out and watch this movie. It is fun. It's a short movie. It's only like an hour and a half, maybe even less than that. Actually, not even an hour and a half. It's an hour and 22 minutes. So it's probably an hour and 18 to 19 minutes of the actual runtime of the movie if you cut out all the credits and stuff like that. So go out and watch this movie. It is short. It's fast. It's to the point. And you will not be disappointed. You will not. This is a fantastic film, and I can't put it over enough. It's an anthology horror film. It takes place on the night of Halloween, and basically there's a small town, and these stories are all told within the same night. And it's so clever, because most anthologies take place different years, different universes, different stories separately, like separate stories from each segment. This one, they're all the same night. They're all in the same town. Same characters interact with each other. So it's like, it is an anthology movie, but it is still a giant web of stories to make an overarching story. Which is very unique, because I have not seen that done in too many anthology movies. I can't really think of one where they all take place on the same day, same neighborhood, same night, like everything, even characters see each other there in different stories. And it's not broken up into like, okay, here's segment 1, here's segment 2. It's kind of like the segments play out as the movie goes along. And to me, that was brilliant. And how it flowed so naturally with that is also what got to me. Like, this movie flows like an actual giant overarching story. There's no hiccups. There's no glitches in the story. There's no loopholes. There's nothing like that. It's a very fluent story in this movie. And the acting, I thought, was really fantastic too. But a lot of these stories I don't want to spoil too much, so I kind of discuss them here and there. But I don't want to spoil anything. I hope I don't end up spoiling anything. But I'll try my best not to. But yeah, this movie was great. But to get into it, it kind of gets into stuff like there's this kid character named Sam. The movie opens up with him stalking this couple, and one of them ends up getting killed, and that opens up the movie. And the Sam character pops up throughout this entire movie, but he's only involved in the opening and ending. So that was a cool how it kind of had that wraparound story. But there's one about this school bus massacre with these kids, and maybe not, you see ghosts. There's this psychopathic killer dad. There's I'm being very brief, but I want to be. I don't want to spoil anything. There's this little girl who goes out with their friends, and they go out to the bus massacre site, and they go down there to visit the bus massacre site. Teenagers partying. One thing ends up being another thing. You got vampires. You've got all kinds of creatures in this movie. I really don't want to give it away, though. I want you guys to go out and experience this movie, because it really is a great film. It's so fun, very atmospheric. It nails the October feel perfectly to me. The acting, I thought, was on point. There wasn't one scene of bad acting for me, or one line of dialogue that I thought was horrible. It all flowed very good. There are some very gory, bloody scenes. The movie is practical, 100% practical. And if there is CGI, I didn't notice it, because everything was practical. Even the Sam character, because the mask gets taken off, and the effect that you see there is practical. This is a 2007 film. Now, I'll be getting to the backstory of this movie in a minute, but this is a 2007 movie. How many movies in 2007 were doing practical creatures? Probably not a lot, because 2007, that was when it was getting more into CGI and using blue screen, green screen type stuff, and they weren't really using practical creatures anymore. This movie used everything practical. I can really appreciate that. And the music, too. The music had this really October, Halloween, folklore type sound to it. I love the score. I love the lighting in this movie. How it's lit. It's shot extremely well. And I believe this is a direct-to-DVD movie, which to me is just shocking, because the way this movie looks, it's shot, certain segments, like you're seeing a school bus go over this cliff, and it seems like in the same shot, the camera, points down the cliff, and you see the bus in the water. I think that was all done in one shot, so I don't know how they did that, but it was a good-looking shot. But just certain segments I really enjoyed. The characters were all unique and different and had their own personalities. The overarching story that just all ties together. Everything ties together so well. It's incredible. It really is. It's an accomplishment, because it's hard to do that. This is a very anthologies are hard to do, and the fact that you gotta usually connect all of them. Usually you gotta bring everything back to full circle. And this movie does it perfectly. And the fact that this movie was put straight to DVD is, just like I said, absolutely appalling. Because I can't believe that. And I guess at the time, this is just what I've heard, that when they made this movie, it was meant to go to theaters. But the studio, I think, didn't have any faith in it, and they said, it won't really sell, so we'll put it direct to DVD. And I think of 2007, this is the highest selling DVD of 2007, I think so. If I'm not mistaken. It is one of the highest selling DVDs out there, so it made money back through DVD sales, luckily, and it also gained quite the following. And it is a shame, because I don't know why they didn't think this would sell, because there's brilliant stories here, some great filmmaking, some good acting, an original idea, very original idea. Just, at the time, I don't know why they would pass this up. This is something completely original. But, I guess that just shows sometimes how Hollywood is with horror. Like, sometimes Hollywood doesn't really know horror that much. Like, I've noticed, like, they kind of don't really get it most of the time. But with this, it shows they dropped the ball, because this movie should have been put to theaters, because it's a very impressive film. And just everything as far as direction goes, surprises. There's a lot of shocking moments in this movie that are just swerves and surprises that made me go, oh shit, that's where it's going, or oh shit, that's where the story's going. There's a lot of oh shit moments. Just brilliant, man. Brilliant movie. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. Very entertaining, very fast film. It's a must-see. Must-see, for sure. I know I'm putting it above the clouds of glory, and I'm putting it way over the mountains of putting this movie over. But I will. I think it deserves it. I think it's a great movie, and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's a really solid film. A 9 out of 10 for me. Absolutely fantastic film. Just a great film. Great job on this movie. This was a great film. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching the review. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. If you've seen it, how would you rate it? Let me know your guys' thoughts on the movie in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night. And yeah, Christopher Fawcett, thank you so much for the request. This was an awesome movie. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care. Have a good night. The Explorer of Horror is out. Peace with my slick back hair. Peace.